Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Let's continue. So, we climbed down the area... Where was it? Come down some area. And we need to get back up to that point. I swear there was a square thing. There it is, way over there. So we're in a weird position because I kind of don't know where I'm supposed to go to get back up, and the game's not making it super blatantly obvious. So I'm thinking this way. We'll see what happens here. No, that was a... I had to throw her up to get to that. And then... the game has started to do this thing where we have to do the same climb a couple of times. I guess maybe it's not the first time this has happened, because in the Opera House, which I honestly feel like was an underused element of the game, you ended up climbing a couple different times for the Opera House also. So I guess the big difference now is that this pathway was blocked before, which allows me to jump over here, and Piggy
I think I can hear some mechs coming.
is just
hang on, I'm on my way.
Doing nothing while Trip is collecting the ever important radiator cooling element. What was it? A heatsink? That's what they called it. Like something that could easily have been built from scrap.
Monkey, there's too many. Get up there.
And so she immediately gets grabbed. I'm pretty sure that was intentional and storyline designed to happen that way. You know, sometimes even the staff doesn't come out.
That was close. Now let's get this thing and get the hell out of here.
It takes a while. Let's see what this heatsink looks like. Throw her back up. At least this time it kind of makes sense that she needed to be the one to get there to turn off the cooling.
Got it.
Alright.
Let's get back to the boat.
If it was a giant heatsink, I guess that's what that was supposed to represent. I was thinking a computer heatsink.
Are you and Trip? You know.
And me and Trip what?
You know, are you together?
Trip enslaved me. And if I don't do what she says, she causes me a lot of pain. And if I still don't do what she says, she kills me.
All right. It's just I always sort of fancied my chances myself with Trip, you know. But if there's something already between you, I'd respect that. I'm not the kind of guy to go muscling in.
Pixie. She can hear every word we say. But if you want to take your chances, go ahead.
Okay.
That's an oddly funny scene. And the writing for Monkey has gotten better.
So fast. You're a woman already, and maybe I was thinking you might need a man, you know.
She just pats him on the head.
let's go. Got more stuff to get.
Like, just a bizarrely well-written scene in what has been some very, very boilerplate basic scenes. We're in chapter 11. There's my mouse in the way, so we'll move that out. Are we going to get more on-rail shooting, or are we going to move to pyramid? Look, the junk forms the heart.
Okay. One more thing left to get. A power cell. This is where we find it.
Didn't we already have a power cell? What happened to that one? It's weird that it's excessive that they put so many tears in her pants. Look at Monkey's pants. They've been all like patched up and no tears in that, and he's doing all this work. And yet Tripp's, if you can get an angle on her jeans,
I'll cover you guys from up here.
It's full of holes.
Take cover. Got one.
I guess this is supposed to be a shooting section.
That's two.
I have a better idea though. How about we just fill this?
3 frags. I'm doing better than you, monkey.
I guess I need to be careful. I'm gonna get killed. Alright. So I really do have to shoot.
Headshot. That's 5. Oh man, I'm on fire. How many you got, monkey?
So yeah, I'm not really playing the right way.
See that, Chris? Did you see that?
You don't shut up, I'm switching sides.
And she doesn't seem like she's capable of doing anything.
This ain't a competition.
Spoken like a total loser. Right, Trent?
I'm out of anything except for the stun bullets. So if you're not coming into this chapter fully loaded, as far as shots, you're going to kind of heavily suffer.
That's 2. I'm doing better than you, monkey. Another one down. Headshot.
This guy's right on top of me. I'm out of shots again.
That's the last of them. Let's go.
And almost certainly I got more than he did. So maybe that would have been an achievement too. Maybe, maybe not. And I guess there's no like cloud or anything to collect. or hover over. The shooting gallery sections again feel like a game that they would design for a game with somebody with a gun.
More mechs! Don't worry, I'll pixify them!
The hell is he talking about?
That's 5! Oh man, I love 5. How many you got, monkey?
Trying to find where these guys are. Where are you?
Did you see that, Trip? Did you see that?
Like, I don't even see the
Shut up, I'm
enemies.
switching sides.
My number of shots are full. Alright, come on, come on, come on. No, let's not die. Like, having real trouble finding the enemies. So this game, it's missing a little polish
Hey, Trip,
here
I shot way more than
for
monkey.
a final
Just
experience.
FYI. I'll meet you guys on the
Again,
other
I'm
side.
not sure if that's actually true. Like, maybe that's true, maybe it isn't. See, that looks like something that you could jump through to reach a different area, but I don't think it really is. There's no reason to jump up to the top. I thought we might be controlling Trip and telling her to run. So I have 15 shots now, which is, I think, the maximum. Let's ask that question. Can we get more ammo? Not quite yet, but an ammo increase wouldn't be bad. But you certainly can't play this game like a shooter.
Hey, what'd you do?
The power must have shorted.
How do we get out of here?
I don't know.
Why isn't she turning on her glowing
Wow, it's dark in
arm?
here.
And
Doesn't
why
smell
isn't
too good
this?
either.
Why is this headband
Yeah,
not
wait.
glowing? That was a very cheap way to do a loading screen. Complete blackness, have a conversation. But acceptable.
Been here before. It makes me a little jumpy.
And how'd you know that there's a power cell here?
I've flown over it plenty of times.
Is that an eyeball that's moving on the Titan? Yes, it is. And this looks like water that isn't too poisoned. But I don't see any collectibles on it. So this is another section that could have easily been
Look at this
Like-
place. I wonder where this place freaks him out.
at a different part of the game. This could have been the colony. This could have been in between the colony and Manhattan. We don't see anything on Pigsy that implies to me that he might be a mech or part mech or anything like that. I seem to be taking a short trip here. these stock images. Yeah, the only thing we're sort of consistent on is the fact that we see grass and we sometimes see people. But otherwise it's rather inconsistent what we're saying. Let's see, jump this way.
We're nearly there.
Honestly, getting the upgrade on the amount of ammo right now probably is the worst decision you can make, because there's a decent chance we won't even have any more uses to shoot. But we might use it in a boss fight. See, now it seems like we're going into a completely different hedge maze style area, which again could have been Manhattan if you just changed the walls a little bit.
So, Monkey, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you use a lot of hair product?
What?
It's a sort of funny question. It's weird. This is one of those games where you're going to probably end very happy with your experience and forget about the first part, first 2/3 of the game, when it was a little simplistic and a little boring. I suppose that's a better way to do things. Let's see.
You want to be careful, Monkey. I could have shot you in the head and blown your brains out by accident.
And see, that was a much smoother experience using the shots, but now I'm out of the shots. And was that particularly a scenario where I needed to do that, or I could have just hand fought them all?
Hey, Trip, do you ever get the feeling that destiny holds you in the palm of its hand?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, it's not destiny. It's a huge mech. Come on, we're nearly there.
Yeah. In all honesty, the shooting mechanic just conflicts with the combat mechanic.
So, Monkey, do you know what an ice cream is?
No.
Because you appear to have ice cream stuck on your head.
So it's kind of odd the game is making fun of its own animation decisions. And sure, this most definitely feels like this part of the game, this dialogue, was written and focused on a lot more than the earlier sections of the game. Like, the game really has still kind of failed to characterize Trip in any way that would make Trip and Monkey friends. Mostly coming around the enslaved element that could have easily been left out. Maybe there's something in the Journey to West story where the Monkey King does get trapped or enslaved by somebody, but you could still try to ride around that, I think.
That's the power cell we need.
It's bigger than the other one.
Having one just sitting there.
I was still having
So I should just
slightly low
don't
polygon
get it.
count and weird shadowing, anti-aliasing maybe even. But this game didn't even have an option to turn off anti-aliasing or anything.
Oh, one thing, Monkey.
What?
Watch out for the Rhino.
The Rhino?
she's also stopped scanning robots because we haven't really seen any new robots in quite a while.
What the hell did you do that for?
Relax. I'm just giving him a little scare. I'll help him out, don't worry.
If I ever get out of this mess alive, Casey, I am gonna be making bacon!
Monkey, shoot these. They'll detonate.
Oh, go screw yourself, you fat freak!
No, Monkey, I'm being serious. Shoot the bombs when the neck gets close to them.
Okay, but just so you know, this doesn't even come
Time is
close to
slowed
making us
down.
even.
And stun doesn't work. Okay, good to know. Oops. And you gotta be careful because the rhino's deflective body has that issue. And rolling out of the way is a requirement. Come on.
Good shot!
But it still kills me. So apparently the rhino is so strongly armored that nothing I do can hurt it. Which kind of sucks because I'd like something like Resident Evil 4 where the game has a knife that turns out to be the strongest weapon
I'll help him out, don't worry.
in the game.
Get out of this mess alive, Casey. I am gonna be making bacon!
So mostly I'm just running around waiting for this part.
Shoot these. They'll detonate.
Oh, go screw yourself, you fat freak!
No, Monkey, I'm being serious. Shoot the bombs when the neck gets close to them.
Okay, but just so you know, this doesn't even come close to making us even!
This more than the previous fights.
Is that all you got?
Is better for the use of the cloud. But this is gonna take 6 more hits.
Monkey! The bombs aren't powerful enough. We're gonna need something bigger.
Yeah, we are. He's knocking fingers down.
Hey, Monkey! Get in to attack this burner!
So that was 4 hits.
Hey! It worked!
Do it again! Not dead yet!
I can't get to the others.
Hey!
So apparently I was supposed to shoot that. And I'm supposed to shoot it while also avoiding damage to myself.
One more shot should do it!
Seriously? This game's not very graceful with like how it's designed to be played. Yes. Like, she can't do anything for me, right? Like, theoretically, I should just be able to jump up there and escape them. But that's not happening. I did not even see that happening.
Hey! Can you get to that last photo?
Well, how do I get up there?
I'll give you a hand. Now get up there.
Alright. So it wants me now to do some climbing while also avoiding taking damage. And one assumes that the Rhino is not going to be allowed
That doesn't look too stable.
to knock this around and knock me off, because that wouldn't be very fair. We have seen monkeys' strength being like unnaturally strong. More of a thought that maybe he is some kind of new kind of mech.
Did you just try to get me killed?
I spilled my heart to Trip. She tells me we're just friends. I know what that means. It means she's had a head turned by a monkey.
Don't know what you're talking about. And if you had any sense, you wouldn't be trying to hit on a girl who has just lost her father.
Ah, so that's your game, huh? Huh? The shoulder to cry on.
You're crazy.
Crazy like a fox.
No, no, like a pig.
Monkey, help!
She said command help. Interesting. And this is another one of these sequences where
Monkey! Monkey, I can't hang on, come on!
like this one's even more linear and more difficult to keep under control, and that no different pathways at all. I may be missing a few collectibles. Some of this pathway also looks like areas we had already visited.
Monkey!
And he ran himself right into a fire pit, which means either I was about to lose or that always happens. And so there he almost got Trip killed. How come those mechs can fly and we never fought any other flying mechs?
A monkey, a pig, and a teenage girl. Gonna
Teenage?
take one of the slavers and win.
That's new. Throwing in that element. I didn't think she was particularly a teenager. It would explain why Monkey's hands are so out of scale larger than hers. But it also then conflicts with her dress and large bust size. So let's hope they mean 19 as teenagers and not 12. 500 miles later.
According to my calculations, we traveled 1,200 miles.
I hope we get there soon.
Wait a
They're
minute.
losing altitude.
So he just gave you the wrong
Looks like they're coming into
information.
Hey, Pixie, don't they have security down there?
Unidentified flying craft, why are you approaching our airspace? We have no landing codes for your vessel. Unidentified craft, do you copy? Come in immediately.
Yeah, I copy.
Unidentified craft, why are you on the landing trajectory?
Oh, we ran into a problem. Some turbulence.
Turbulence?
Yes, sir.
We have no reports of any turbulence, and we have a report that salvage ships have been shadowed by an unidentified craft fitting your description.
Really? Well, How unusual. I certainly don't know anything about that.
Unidentified craft, please transmit your landing codes.
The landing codes?
Affirmative, transmit your landing codes or we will be forced to assume your
So,
ship is hostile and
the slavers seem to be running things.
Just a minute. Well,
Like...
my landing codes are, 1.
1.
Yes.
1 what?
2. Hey, I think it worked.
Are you coming? No.
They're all squeezing in a escape pod, which goes full circle from the beginning of the game, a long time ago.
Wow. This is intimate.
Yeah. Well, at least I get to be on the inside this time.
Monkey, would you mind shifting your left arm slightly?
I don't really see how I can.
It's just your hand is right on my penis.
Poor translation there. I think you would be better to write that and say your hand's right on my tail.
Come on, this way.
Since they were going with the whole pig theme.
Oh, that's sore.
Hey, Pixie, are you absolutely sure that the Leviathan is here?
Oh, yeah, it's here. You wait.
And
It'll be awesome.
see, I imagine this is the end of the areas in the game. We'll be running around the pyramid, which is, I assume, where we are. They kind of didn't really show the outside of the pyramid. It's a lack of animation there. So I imagine we run through here. We do several fights, several climbing puzzles. Maybe we don't get any more chases or on-rail shooter sections. I imagine the story is going to try to progress a little bit more. Pigsy has done more than he probably should have to move the story forward. And then we're just going to eventually run into a boss and defeat a boss. Some giant mech robot. I'm sure it would be very out of character if some human really was running all of this. And it seems pretty obvious that a human isn't. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.